Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, um, y'all know I got last minute things I be trying to do. I be trying to get them out the way before I go live, but sometimes technical difficulties delays the process a bit. But we here though. We most definitely here. Hold on, I gotta put some. I need to go get some more of this because I'm at the bottom. Thank you all for joining me. You know when you at the last of your Vaseline and you gotta scrape the thing. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I have to go out. I have to go outside. But thank you all for joining me. Tonight is Sunday Night Dinner and Convo, Nurturing Conversations. Tonight's topic is silence is not an option. Hi, Famaka TV. Hi, Shanti. I had before I came on, I decided because when I come on, I have food, but I don't be eating. So I decided to eat a little ahead of time. I have some cheddar broccoli soup from Panera Bread, and I decided to throw some shrimp in there, be a little fancy. No, but that's what I had for dinner. So hopefully you have your dinner, or something to drink or something to snack on, and we just gonna sit here and talk. Um I'm gonna get my disclaimers out the way, then I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video. I do not tolerate disrespect, not in any way, shape, form, or fashion that is towards me or towards anyone in the chat. Um, there will be tears, there will be curse words. My opinions are my opinions, your opinions are your opinions, and we are here to discuss, have an open discussion. This is what the closet is for, open discussions. I talk about every subject. I am not a mental health professional. I am not I don't, my degree is not in medicine. I'm just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know that you are not alone. You are not alone, and that you can overcome anything that life throws at you. Tonight, we are talking about silence is not an option. Um, those of you may know, you may not know. Hi, T. Braxton. Um, I am starting, or not starting. I've already started a podcast surrounding the nurturing conversations. If you are just tuning in, I started nurturing conversations because I personally feel like people don't talk. People do not talk. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be politically yeah, that word correct. I'm just gonna talk from my heart and my mind, and of course, I'm not gonna disrespect anybody because I don't tolerate disrespect. But I started it because I'm on a journey of healing and self discovery. Just a quick backstory about me. I'm on a journey of healing and self discovery. Last year, I went through grief, loss, a lot of stuff. And I did that. I was healing public. I'm healing publicly because I feel like a lot of times we don't see like the grit. We don't see the struggle. We don't see that. We just see the glitz and the glamour and the made up beautifulness of everything. And so I took that on, and mainly because I felt like I went through a lot of things and I wish somebody would have said. I kept finding myself in situations where I wish somebody would have said. I wish somebody would have told me. So I figured, I'll take that on and be that person to say, hey, silence is not an option. Um, so that's why I decided to start nurturing conversations. Silence is not an option became a topic for two reasons. One, because we have officially survived. If you're watching this right now, you're listening to this right now, you have officially survived a global fucking pandemic for 2 years. Um, I'm pretty sure life before the 2 years was crazy, or maybe it wasn't crazy, but you had a life before these last 2 years. But if number two, if you survived the last 2 years, there should be something about your life that you want to change, whether that's being healthy, whether that's taking care of yourself. There's something, I know there is something that you want to change. Everyone, when you cross over to the new year, even if it was just, hey, I want to lose weight this year, or I want to start a business this year, or I want to get married, have kids, whatever it is, you want to change your life for the better. In order to do that, you have to use your words. Silence is not an option. Say there's a new position coming at your job, right? And you know in the innermost part of yourself that you will be good in that position, right? But something in the back of your head is like, no, you don't want to do that job because then you have to stay later or work harder or whatever. It always happens like that. We can see something that we want, and then somewhere in our minds in life it'll be like, but I don't deserve that. I didn't have a degree, or I didn't work as hard as. It's always that silence is not options. And I don't just mean silence about talking about the people that hurt you. I mean silence, period. If you want that job, go get it. Go get it. Stand up, fight for yourself. That's in real life, in your family, that's in your work life. That's just period. Stand up and fight for yourself. Silence is no longer an option. If someone said something to you that you didn't, that it disrupted your whole being, speak on that. Don't just, oh, that's my mother, that's my father, that's whoever it is, that's how they operate. Don't do that. We in 2022, it's a new year. Silence is not an option, because I'm gonna tell you why. When you ever got into a situation with somebody and there was things you didn't say but you wanted to say it, now the situation is over with, and then it's like, man, I should have said. So then the next time somebody do something according to that, then you just go off on them. They didn't deserve that. That was supposed to be for the person that, take it at that moment, process it, and let it go. No more holding on to anything that is not yours. Let it go. That's why if you watch my videos, I've been saying it's important for you to choose you. Because when you really think about loving yourself, when you really think about you, right? I'll talk about me. When I really think about me, right? I don't want anybody to lie to me. I don't want anybody to disrespect me. I don't want anybody to be like any of those things. I don't want any of that. So in my life, I say I'm going to be light, love, and positivity. So that's what I try to put out there. I try to put out love. I try to put out understanding, empathy. I try to put out all of those things so that it returns back unto me. If at any point I feel that there is something that I need to say, as the person that's always saying use your words, I definitely have used my words. If you've been following me for the last year, I've definitely used my words. And I should probably give this disclaimer too. What I'm saying that I did, it might not work for you. Of course, you are a totally different human being. And you probably have a different way that you operate your life. But I will say that silence can no longer be an option. There's a big, people are calling them buzzwords now, but there's this big talk about, everyone's talking about, oh, generational curses, and that you got to break the generational curse. Somebody has to break the generational curse. And I don't think that people really understand what it means when people say generational curses. They just, oh, that's a generational curse. It's just the generational curse is all you hear. But the reality of it is that people chose to remain silent. And sometimes I get it, it was in the benefit of the family, like not in like they use the silence, but they like didn't want to tear apart the family. I'm not encouraging you to tear apart your family. What I'm saying is this, right? Choose yourself. Anything that does not fit in you, fit in your space, fit in your peace, in your atmosphere, in your environment, let it go. Let it go. Sorry, y'all, I felt that one. You gotta let it go, because if you don't, this is what'll happen in some cases. This is what happened in my case. Um, I didn't let it go, and I held on to it for years, and holding on to it caused inadverse effects where it started to like come out. Like, you hide something, you put something in the closet and you stuff too much stuff in there, and then the door starts to bulge. Yeah, it came out, and then it came out in a way that I didn't want it to come out. But hey, if you stuff something in something and it got to come out. So it's important to use your words. It's important to put words to your feelings, um, to ensure that your voice is heard. In 2022, we survived 2 years, a global fucking pandemic. A lot of us made our voice heard when it came to like vaccines or telling our family members, hey, you can't come over unless vaccinated or you got a negative test. We were real vocal and things like that. But I want to encourage you to go a little deeper. Go a little deeper. Maybe the relationship between you and your brother or you and any one of your siblings, your mother or somebody isn't great. Think about that for a moment, right? At any time between the last 2 years and now, if any one of y'all would have passed away, how would you have felt? Last year, I lost a couple of people, and I began to think about like the last conversations. I don't know why it happens like that, but when somebody passed away, you think about the last conversations you had. You think you find pictures, photos, videos, you do, or not even when people pass away, like when you end something, like when you end a job or a relationship or just anything. When it's an end, you have memories, right? And sometimes in those memories, it's like, man, I wish I could have said, I should have said, or I should have done. In 2022, I want to encourage you to choose you and say everything that is on your heart and everything that is on your mind. And in doing so, you will create the peace, you will create the love, you will create everything that you've been looking for your entire life. And I'm not saying that people don't love you. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying in order for you to have a peaceful, loving, positive 2022, you have to get rid of the old. You have the thing that's been festering you every time you go to a family reunion, every time you go to work. If your boss has bad breath and every time he talks to you, his or her breath smells really bad, tell them, put yourself in their shoes for a minute. If you're talking to someone, right, and their face is all turned up, maybe they don't like you, but maybe it's your breath. Wouldn't you want somebody to tell you that your breath smells? Like, I know you're probably like, but that don't have anything to do with silence, but it really does. Like we don't think about the most minuscule things. Like check this out, right? If you experienced if you experienced discrimination at your job, right? We'll just talk about jobs. If you experience discrimination at your job and you decide, I'm just going to hold that in because, I'm just thinking, I don't want to, everybody always says, I don't want to play the race card too fast. I don't want to do that. But the moment it happened, I'm going to tell you, if you're not paying attention to your body, I'm going to tell you, y- after this, you'll get it. I'm not a medical professional. I just understand life. So you experience racial discrimination, right? And you like, okay, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to play the race card. But the moment it happened, your body, everything in you felt weird. It felt tensed. It felt whatever that feeling it is for you. You need to address that because once somebody do something to you one time and they know that they can get away with it becomes second nature. They're going to keep on doing it, keep on saying it, keep on whatever. Once they get away with it one time, they will keep on doing it. And now you're sitting over here like, oh well, I don't, and I think I don't. You're holding on to that disruptive energy, and now when you go in, you feel a little smaller. Where if you were in the room, you were bright, you were big, you're like, yeah, I'm happy to be at work today, and you come a little smaller. No, not in 2022. You should shine. Turn your light all the way up. Speak whatever situation. Like for me, the thing that helped me make it all the way through 2021 was speaking. I spoke. I spoke about the molestation I spoke about the divorce, I spoke about my relationship with my parents, I spoke about everything, abuse, domestic violence. I spoke about everything, and it helped me so much that I began to write poems. It helped me so much that I began to write. Like, it unlocked my creativity, like it unlocked the wall that was there, um keeping me from being keeping me from being my greatest self. And I made the decision, hi, I made the decision to, like, choose me. I chose me. Sometimes, like, I know if you're a parent, you're like, I can't really choose me, but you can choose. You have to choose you, because you are the first defense. You're the first line of defense when it comes to your child. Like, there's you, your child. Like, you're sitting in front of your child, and then it's your child. So if you're unable to stand, this is where generational, I'm tying it back into generational curses. This is where, if you're unable to stand and say, hey, listen, what happened to me won't happen to the generations behind me. I'm gonna the generational they say the buck stops here, the generational curse stops here. I made a conscious decision. A lot of shit happened to me. I made a conscious decision. I said, listen, I want the people behind and be to be so comfortable with talking, to be so comfortable with sharing their feelings and emotions, that if anybody, in person, anybody come to them in the wrong manner, come to them in the disrespectful way, they will feel comfortable enough to not only just tell me, but to handle that. We need to do more talking of when I was growing up, right? They will always say, if an adult touch you, the adults shouldn't touch you here, and people shouldn't do these things, right? And then I started to, like, say, okay, this is what happened. And then I realized, like, the saying of, if somebody does this to you, it's like, what do we call it? It's like what we say to make ourselves feel better. I would say that because I don't have anything else to say, but it's something we say to make ourselves feel better. Like, because when people start saying, hey, this happened to me, the first thing that some people do is say, don't tell anybody. Or, are you sure that's what happened? Or, why did it happen to you? And I understand those questions for me are real disrespectful, really disrespectful, because I don't think anybody deserves to be abused in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't think anybody deserves to be taken advantage of or having their innocence taken. I don't think anybody deserves that. I do feel, however, that because people are afraid of confrontation, they're afraid of addressing the bullshit. For lack of better, people are afraid of addressing the bullshit. Things continue. Um, Things continue on throughout the generations because people don't talk about it. And then those of us who do talk about it, we are either crazy, we're trying to cause confusion, or, you know, people make a big, they make you the issue. Like, when in my situation, everyone was like, why would he choose you? Or why do you think it happened to you? Or, who are you that it would happen to you? Questions. I'm young. Like, those questions shouldn't have been directed to me. Those questions should have been directed to the adult that did the things that he did. Like, I think when I say silence is not an option, it's not even just for people that have experienced abuse or disrespect or anything like that. It's also for our family members, friends, associates, co-workers. It's for everybody. You know, um it's such a it's such a broad topic. Like, there's so many different places where you can go, but I'm just going to keep saying silence is not an option. That's whether If you woke up in 2022 and you was just like, you know what, my fucking life, I don't want my fucking life to be like this. Or if you look at your child and you say, I don't want you to struggle like I struggle, or I want you to be better than me. The only way that they can do that is if you talk to them and share with them your experiences. Tell them. I know sometimes when we become an adult, we don't want to rehash old things that we did in our past. We don't want to talk about the mistakes that we made. Listen, I was all for talking about the mistakes that I made because it helps me to get better. It helps me to see, okay, this didn't work. This worked. Let me take that from this situation over here and go over here and start something better. You can't. This is why when I got a divorce, I wasn't hopping into another relationship because for me, I needed to understand how come this didn't work. This right here. So I began to talk, not to myself like that, but I began to ask myself the tough questions. You know, when I say silence is not an option, I'm not even just talking about to another person because sometimes we need to ask ourselves the tough questions, right? How come you're working at this job knowing that you really want to open up your own business? Maybe you want to start a laundromat. You have experience in the cleaning industry. You have the experience to start a laundromat, but something, it could be fear, it could be something that's stopping you from being there, and you're here and then you don't want to be here. You complain every day waking up, oh God, I got to go to this job. That's funny. That's not funny. Sorry, I just put this together. Silence is not an option. Like when we need to speak up for ourselves, when we need to be vocal, we won't. But we will talk to ourselves and tell ourselves the problem, hoping that ourselves will answer like the other person, like we want the other person to answer. Like you ever did a scenario like you about to go to an interview and you like, why should we hire you? And you telling yourself why you should be hired, but then you go to the interview and you don't say none of that. You kind of get stuck, you kind of get froze because it's like we become intimidated. Oh, is that what it is? Sorry, y'all. I should have put this warning out there too. Sometimes while I'm be talking, I like come to the realization about things also. But that's what happens when you take it from here and put it out here. That's what happens. You're able to put it together. Um, and I'll use an example of myself. In 2020, I had a bunch of opportunities that was placed in front of me, and at that time, I didn't believe in my ability to accomplish um, the thing that was being asked of me. I knew that I could do it. That's number one. Had all of the qualifications to do it. I just didn't believe in myself to do it. 2021 came and I was just like, I was on that's how I knew that I was on that verge of like not giving a fuck about anything. 2021 came and I was like, you know what? I know in my innermost being, I know that I could do this. I know I can. I can't let fear stop me. I'm gonna talk to you. If fear is stopping you, if fear of somebody not liking you, if fear of somebody talking bad about you, if the fear of losing something, right? Think about this, right? I'm sure you've lost money, you lost your keys, you lost relationships, you lost games, you lost cars, you done experienced a lot of loss in your life, right? If you think about people talk about you every day. People talk about me every day. People talk about us every day. The reality of it is it'd be certain people that we don't want to lose or we don't want to talk. But if you actually sit and think about it, right? What kind of relationship is that where you are afraid of saying what you need to say because you don't want to lose a person's presence, conversation, anything like that? That's not a life to live. That's just not a life to live, especially given that you survived a global fucking pandemic for 2 years. If you haven't determined that you are going to choose you, make that decision right now. Like, take this time and say, I'm gonna choose me. I'm gonna choose me. I'm gonna do what's best for me. I'm gonna say what I need to say. I'm gonna stand on it. I was literally thinking, um, before we crossed into 2022, I was literally thinking about how before 2021, I was one of those people that was silent. Like shit will happen and I just be sitting over here like, all right, okay. It's like, oh, there's no sweat off, it's sweat off my back or whatever the thing is like, oh, that didn't even affect me. And then I start to realize that shit does affect you. It do. You might say it doesn't. It really does. Um, cause you ever had this like I say this a lot and I'm gonna say it again, right? You ever see somebody else, something happen to somebody else, and you be like, I wish a motherfucker would, right? And my grandmother, the older, not elder, but the older, the more seasoned people always used to say, never say what you won't do or what won't happen to you because you never know, right? So I was one of those. I wish a motherfucker would, right? And I have a like kind, hi cuz though, I have a cuz you, sorry. I have this thing where I am loving to a fault. I'm working on it. Hi Jazz, I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. So when shit happened, I just be like, oh, I used to be one of those people like, oh, that's just them. That's just how they operate, or that's just how they. Eh, mm, mm, hmm. But then something on the inside of me woke up, and I was just like, I don't deserve that. When you know your worth, when you know you don't deserve shit, what's the first thing you gonna say? What's the first thing you gonna say? I don't fucking deserve that. I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to like that. You ever had those moments? Listen. So I had a I wish uh I wish I had I wish a motherfucker would moment, right? Sorry, I had to put my phone up. And in that moment, I literally laughed. Like I just laughed right there. I literally laughed because I remembered the day I said, like it was like remember you said, and I saw my finger go, remember you said you wish a motherfucker would. And I got into that exact moment and I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Was like, damn, you really don't know what you would do till you're in that exact moment. You don't know. That's the unknown. I know it's like right now, if you found out your person was cheating on you, I hate to say that, but if you found out your person was cheating on you, you really wouldn't know what to do. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh, they cheating. I know what to do. No, because the first thing is gonna be like, wait, what? What? Is like confusion, like, wait, who cheating on what? You doing what? Mm-mm. If you find out that you apply for a job and then you find out the person who got the job, because you all ever pay attention to this, right? If you ever went and applied for a job and then you're there, you're applying, you go into the interview, and then the person who's hiring notices someone that they know is also applying. You ever notice how you don't get that job? Excuse me. And then you find out who get the job. Who always is the person to get the job? It's the person that was a friend or somebody that they knew. We got to start speaking up for ourselves. We got to silence is not an option. Silence. If you are a parent and your child is struggling in virtual school, silence is not an option. And I'm going to tell you, virtual school is not as easy as a lot of people be trying to make it seem. It's not. I tell my story in 2021. I have one more class that I have to take. It starts next. Whoa. Oh, it starts this week. Sorry, y'all, I lost a week. It starts this week, and I struggle. I'm good at school. A school is that's my thing. I'm good at school. I find myself texting my virtual teachers like, "Hey, I know you gave us a syllabus and I'm trying." And they send you the different it's like you got to watch a video, then you got to take a test and you got to download some other Hey, I'm a little older now. I used to be able to, work around a computer, but I'm a little older now, so it don't come as fast as it used to come. So I was hitting up my teachers like, that's why they give you, if you are a college student, let me tell you a little secret. If you're a college student, they give you a syllabus. You have the opportunity to connect with your teachers. Let them know your struggles. Let them know whatever you're going through. Silence is not an option. Your teacher can't give you an extra day or give you extra time if they don't know what's going on with you. They can't. That's why you have to tell them. Um, I chose to use my words and I was able to like complete a lot of excitements because what I realized with online school, it goes a little faster than um in-person school. Like I feel like I would have did better if I was in person because I could talk to the teachers, talk to my fellow students and figure it out. Mm-mm. But I learned. I learned from the virtual things. I learned to communicate where I am. And that was a big thing for me. That was a big thing for me because I told you I was somebody that just would be silent. I wouldn't tell if I was sick or anything was going on with me. I wasn't telling people girl, let me, mm-mm. I wasn't, that wasn't me. And then I started to be more um transparent, more open. I started to let other people in. That's definitely something that I really um I'm really happy that I did in 2021. It's just like let it go. Like I felt that I needed to carry everything. This is why I'm saying that you should choose you and let it go. Um and when I stopped carrying stuff, when I stopped letting, shit get to me, it was just like, why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't I just say what I needed to say earlier? And then as you say what you need to say, it gets easier to say it. Like my first couple of times I said no, I say the first 3 times I said no, it was a little struggle. It was a little struggle, not with the person that I said no to, it was a struggle with me because with anything, when you change anything, like if you change your hairstyle, right? It takes some getting used to. It takes some getting used to. If you change your washing powder. I don't know if you like me, but I have sensitive skin and some washing powders I can't use or I break out really bad because maybe the dyes or something in it is too powerful. I don't know. But when change comes, it's not like, yay, we're changing. For me, it was just like, okay, that was one time. And then, at first you'd be like, no, you whisper it. And then I got through that first time. Now that was a struggle because, it's my first time saying no. And so I kind of was like, oh, but maybe I should because, I'm not used. I was a people pleaser. I wasn't used to people, not being excited about me. I wasn't used to that. So I was like, no. And then I had to talk to myself. It was like, you're gonna be okay. If they don't hey, not everybody in this world, 600 billion, whatever billion people, somebody bound to not like you or not appreciate you or somebody bound. That's something you can't control, right? So the second time I said no, it was a little more to my voice when I said it. And I felt a little more confident after I said it. Oh, but that third time I was just like, hell no, no. It's a Y'all notice it's a no for me. I didn't make that up. Somebody else said it and it just stuck with me. It's a no for me. Became my new thing. And the more I started speaking about situations that happened in my life, the more I started connecting with other people and realizing that I wasn't the only person experiencing things. Like I wouldn't say that my childhood was fucked up. I would say that situation that happened to me was fucked up. The situations that happened after that was fucked up, and my childhood was actually pretty. It's pretty dope, pretty dope. And then it was like for a moment there, silence. Silence was the only option for me. And silence may be the only option for you, but I'm gonna say this, right? At that time, I felt that silence was the only option for me because I was telling people and they weren't doing anything. I was saying, "Hey, this is happening." And instead of like protecting me or instead of doing something to like change the situation, they were just don't say anything or they was doing that kind of thing. And so then when I got to a certain age and I told it was one person I told out of all the years the shit was happening to me. It was one person that I told. And that one person stood up for me and they said what the fuck they needed to say. And that changed the course of the rest of my life. So that's why I'm here talking about silence isn't an option because I want to know that you may feel like silence is the only option that you have, but it's not. Earlier today I did a video about um tell your story. You never know who's watching you. Like if you're doing a YouTube or you're on Instagram live, Facebook live, TikTok live, wherever you are on social media, if you tell your story, you never know how you can help somebody. A lot of times people don't want us to tell our story because then that highlights things that are in them. We don't want to hear about people being abused or molested and how they overcome that because then we have to deal with the fact that maybe somebody touched us or maybe we were the people that was touching other people. Like that makes us have it calls us to the carpet and we have to deal with shit that we don't want to deal with. That's where a lot of silence come in. A lot of silence. A lot of silence breeds guilt. And now we feel guilty. We don't want to tell on anybody. We don't want to get them in trouble. Um, it's 2022. If the person who did whatever the fuck they did to you, whether it was a coworker who stole your work and said it was them, you didn't tell them to steal your work. You actually was probably just sharing it with them to say, hey, look, you could do this too. You didn't tell them to steal your work. Stand up for yourself. Hey, this person stole my work. Let me tell you, right? I'm a musician. Uh upload music. I have night meditations, right? That I created. I personally created myself. I sat right here at this computer and created them. Some of them I actually created while I was on live for Song Conversation last year. So I uploaded them. If you're watching on Facebook, I uploaded them on Facebook. And as soon as I uploaded them, the major record labels come and they say, oh, you have a symbol and it sounds like this song. And so I went and logged in my Facebook, hadn't been there for a minute, but I logged in my Facebook and it was like all of these record labels was like, this is our track, this is our track, this is our track. And I was like, oh no, this isn't your track. I know y'all major record labels and people see that and they be like, no, well, I just lost that. I mean, I guess I just won't get paid from that. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. You know what I did? You see, they got a little dispute button. I'm telling you this. They took a video down on yours or something. They have a dispute button. I hit that dispute button and I said, listen, I composed this on my own computer with my own license software, with my own, and I just told them what I did. And guess what happened? Warner, Sony, all of the people that had this is our, all of them dropped their thing, and guess who? It came back to me. I remember a time I would have just let that slide. We not letting nothing else slide. No, I can't tell you what you should do, but I would suggest that you not let anything else slide. Cause when things be sliding, people just be, people you let some slide and people just continue on. You see something And you don't say nothing, you be like, oh, that just wasn't what it was. But you know exactly, you feel it. I'm gonna tell you, there's a feeling that comes with it. There's a feeling. If somebody ever said something, some slick, oh, I got it. Parents. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a minute. If you a parent, you ever told your child to do something and you heard like they didn't say it loud, they mumbled. They mumble. I'm gonna tell you, when I was growing up, I used to think that my parents and my grandparents, my grandmother had supersonic ears. I promise to Jesus she did. Because she would tell my little brother to do something. And my little brother, he's a real defiant. He's a real defiant. Even to this day, he's real defiant. And I love that about him. He will whisper something. Like he will whisper. We will all be in there. He'll just get in trouble. He will whisper. When I say whisper, I mean he will whisper like this. And I kid you not, my grandmother heard every word that he said. Every word. Every word. We were trying to figure out how could she hear that? He whispered that, but I guarantee you it's something that parents, grandparents, they just have this innate ability to hear. Hear. If we have that innate ability, right? Why don't we use that to speak? If you notice that there was a lot of like racial tension um over the last couple of years, and a lot of people were like just sitting back, not really saying anything, or just not, just not choosing to speak on it or speaking on it in their privacy of their own homes and everything like that. I was one of those people. I was one of those people that was like, you know what? I didn't speak about it on YouTube. I did speak about it on other places. I don't even know why I didn't speak about it on YouTube, but I did speak about it. And I did what I could do on the ground to help change what I could, right? But then I started to thinking like y'all remember when it was like somebody's like, "Oh, not all cops are bad." And I'm not saying cops are bad. This is for the sake of the conversation. How is it that we are to the point where I'll say it like this, right? I watched, I think it's MTV Real World House Reunions or something like that. And the lady, she's a police officer, and she was talking to Tammy Roman, and she was saying how she has black or mixed kids, and she was saying how she was a police officer, remind you. She was a police officer, and she was saying how she saw a lot of injustice. She saw a lot of things going on, but she couldn't really say anything because she had to think about her family. She had to think about all of the different things, right? And so then Tammy Roman called her to the carpet and she said, so when you saw the injustices towards, and then the lady was trying to clean it up real fast. And for me, it was just like, no, ma'am, if that's how you felt, that's how you felt. If that's what you, at that time, you thought about it. Like, I could understand you saying, okay, I have this job. Like, I need to work to maintain. I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying that it's wrong. I can say that I understand that. However, if you are a parent and you have mixed kids, I would definitely think that you would definitely be vocal, especially if living in the time in which we are living in. Disrespect, anything of that nature, I can't tolerate. I can't tolerate. I have these opportunities where I go into these rooms and I'm able to talk about the business that I do. And before, I'll say, oh, I'll say 2020 when I was, pitching and talking about my business, I was talking about it from a perspective that was like, y'all see how I'm doing it like that. And then I went into one situation and I just saw like hmm, I said I'm not going to be politically correct, and now I'm trying to be politically correct. I saw that because of who I am, I'll just say that because of who I am, an African American woman coming in there pitching a business that has to do with music. It has tech. It's a music tech business, but the focus of it is music and education and providing the education to artists. Many people just their nose was just like, whatever. Just another, black person coming in here trying to start a record label or a t-shirt merchandising company. And it was just like, no, that's not even what I'm here to do. So when I started talking and telling them who I am and what I was here to do, it was just like the tune changed, like everything in the room changed. And for me, it was just like, why does that have to be? You would think like I'm 41. Like why do we still have to be there? Why? But I found the courage in and not saying it in a disrespectful way. I just literally stood in my power as an African American woman and the knowledge that I know, and I was just like, listen, what I'm doing, it won't ever benefit you. Actually, it will take money out of your pocket because you're the people you're using the artists that I would be talking to get rich, to buy extra homes, to send your kids to college. So people I'm talking to, I'm arming them with the knowledge. So I see why you don't like me. It wasn't really the race car, it really was, but it wasn't. I mean, it's like I'm taking money out of your pocket, so of course you're not gonna like me. And for me, it was just like, hey, I'm just here because I want you to know that I'm coming. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for everything that all of my ancestors, everything. I'm coming for everything. Silence is not an option. Not an option anymore. Um silence silence is only an option because that's sometimes it feels safe. And if you are someone who is being silent because it feels safe, I'm gonna tell you this, and you probably feel it while I'm talking to you right now. You probably feel it while I'm saying it. Silence is not a safe space. It may feel like it is safe, but it's not. It's causing you damage. It's causing you hurt. It's causing you to compress who you are to please the people around you. When in actuality, a lot of these people don't give a fuck anyways. They don't. Somebody needs to say it. I'll say it. A lot of people don't care anyways. They don't. They never did. They don't. They won't. And that's okay. It's not okay that, they don't care or won't care, but it's okay because you will love yourself. You will understand that you are the most important being in this whole equation. You are. You will love yourself. You will feel like that your opinion is the most important opinion that matters. Yours. You. Everyone has, they say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them, but the most important one is yours. Silence is not an option. If you've been watching YouTube videos and you're like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but what do I do? Whatever is in your heart to do. If you decide you want to do meditations, I have a meditation. There's other meditations out here. That doesn't mean that you can't do a meditation. Do a fucking meditation. Your meditation may help somebody that my meditation don't help. It's like, I don't drink sodas, but when I was drinking sodas, I love Sprite. Sierra Mist is nasty, but Sprite is my soda. Do I just be like, oh no, it's Sprite? It's tons of sodas out there. Sprite is my preferred drink of choice, but I don't drink sodas anymore, but was my preferred drink of choice. So because you see somebody doing something on their channel, that don't mean, oh, I can't do that, because no, you should do that. Like I would tell you, I have this week I'm going to be rebranding and relaunching my music channel. I do have a music channel. It's Midwsthumnbrd TV. Actually, let me see if I can drop it in here. Um I'm revising or rebranding my music channel, and I'm going to do music reviews. And what do? I went on YouTube just like everybody else, and I was like, okay, what's the biggest reviews? Like, what are people reviews? Now, what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna do YouTube reviews. I'm not gonna do gossip reviews. That's a no for me. I'm just gonna do music reviews. It's a music channel. Why not do music reviews? And right now, uh Brian Upchurch. Is that his name? I don't want to say his name wrong. Upchurch is definitely Upchurch, Jelly Roll. Those are people that if you watching, if you listen to their music and do reviews, those are ones that are really high up there. So what do you think I'm going to be doing this week? I'm gonna be doing those. I have ASMRs coming for my ASMR channel. What do you think I'm going to be doing this week? I'm going to be doing some of the most popular ones. Like Taco Bell just came out with chicken wings. I don't eat Taco Bell, and I'm definitely not gonna eat no chicken wings from Taco Bell because in my mind it just be like, you sell tacos. Why am I gonna buy some chicken from you? That's like buying a burger from Popeyes. My mind is a complex in my mind where it's just like, no, you only supposed to be selling chicken. They not. They could sell whatever they want to, but in my mind, it's just no. Like when Taco Bell started selling fries. Why are you selling fries? You sell tacos. It, it's just me. But if you are doing YouTube right now, you definitely want to hop on. If you're doing mukbangs or whatever, you definitely want to hop on the Taco Bell chicken wings. I ain't gonna try it. I'm not trying them, of course, because I'm juicing and trying to eat healthier. But I'm not gonna try it. But just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that you can't do it. And just because everyone on YouTube or everyone in the world has a story doesn't mean that you can't share your story. Several of you told me how my story or how my situations helped you through whatever you went through. And I appreciate that because I knew like if like I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I need to get all the I don't only if one person. This is it's always my whole theory, my whole life is all I need to do is get one person because if I tell one person something and one person understand it, they'll do it and somebody else will get it and it'll just trickle and it keep going. So all I need is one person. You know, I've watched a lot of YouTubers and they some of them say it's good and some of them, you know, it's like, oh, well, it doesn't really taste like chicken. I don't know. I can't. I think that's kind of part of the reason why I can't because it's Taco Bell. It's tacos. Like I already have questions about your ground beef. It's tacos. But if you want to start a channel, yeah, do it. You should tell your story. I was telling a couple of people they're like, okay, I'm gonna start doing. I've been telling people for 3-4 years you should do a YouTube. People that I know that are talented and creative, hey, you should do a YouTube. Not even if you do music or you play video games. Hey, if you have a child, if you're watching this, parents, if you have a child or a teenager that plays video games all the time, get them a Twitch. I know I'm on YouTube talking to Twitch, but I am streaming to Twitch too. If you do game on Facebook. Facebook has gaming too. Listen, that can be a career for them. I remember when I was growing up, my mother was like, "You ain't gonna make no money playing no video games." And we used to play. My favorite game was Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. Oh, I could play. I literally would play them all night. You know, they had the joysticks like this, so my thumbs would be super flat from just playing it. And then, you know, you get older, then people start creating video games and making money. They sit at home and make money from playing video games all day. I saw when I first came upon Miss B Love. Hey, Miss B Love, if you're watching. When I first came up on her channel, right? I f- I literally went to my mother's house and I was like, I want you to see this because for years, for decades, she was like, you shouldn't smack. You should chew with your mouth closed. And I played Miss B Love. She was so like, and she looked at me and I was like, you told me I could have been making so much money. I mean, I still, you know, you still can, but it was just like, I could have been doing this. I like to eat. Well, before I started juicing, I like to eat. I like to eat. Um, but I was like, it's so many different things, and like I was telling my brother, like he loves to cook and he loves to make beats, and I was like, put them together and do that, and so he tried it, and it started working for him. He was like, oh, I see what you're saying. I was like, just be you, just do what you would do on a regular basis, and people will love that. You know why? Because people love authenticity. I think I said that right. See, sometimes my speech impediments be getting in the way, but sometimes they don't. I used to. I'm gonna talk about me for a minute. I used to being molested. I felt like my voice didn't matter, and so I would be silent. I literally stop talking for a long period of time. Like literally, people would be talking to me. I would just look at them like they're crazy. They weren't crazy. I just didn't want to wait. Oh, it's a hair. Sorry, it was a hair on my mic, and it's rubbing. Anyways, so I would look at them. They weren't crazy. I wasn't crazy either. I just didn't feel like my voice mattered because you're telling people shit is happening to you, and they asking you these f- fucking ridiculous questions or saying shit to you when they should be saying the shit to the person. But anyways, so I stopped speaking, and then when I was 18, I actually lost my ability to walk and talk, and then shit got real for me. I'm just gonna say shit got real for me. And then they were like, "You're never going to get it back." When I say they, I mean the doctors was like, "You're never gonna get it back. You're gonna have to use a cane or walker, or you might not even ever regain your ability to." And I was just like, I don't know who the fuck y'all talking to because you ain't telling me. Uh, Again, that was another situation where stubbornness. Sometimes stubbornness isn't a bad thing. I know a lot of people try to make it seem like it's a bad thing. Sometimes it isn't a bad thing because had I not been stubborn, I don't think I would be able to talk or walk today. I'll just say that. Um so then I started I went to art therapy. I went to art therapy. I went to a bunch of therapies, but I went to art therapy, and that's where I learned how to talk. I learned the dynamics of talking and which part of the brain and how it all comes together. And then I started talking, and then like I'm a singer songwriter, and I wasn't comfortable with the sound of my voice. But let me tell you what happened, right? 2022 or 2020 happened. The global fucking pandemic happened. And I was like, for I want to say the last 5 years, there's been a project. There's been a project that has been on my mind. When I say a project, I mean like a music project that has been on my mind and on my heart. And it keeps it's like at the forefront of everything. And I'm just like, I'm going to get to it one day. One day, I'm going to get to it. One day, I keep saying the one day. And then a global fucking pandemic happened. And it was just like, okay, so I actually sat down and wrote down all the songs, the BPM, the feels, the instruments, everything for the EP, right? And so, yay, I did it. And I set it over there. And then it's still in the forefront of my heart and my mind. I feel it. It's like a weight. It's like you need to do it. You should say it. And then it was like, I'm gonna start. It was like nurturing conversations, or it was just Sunday night dinner and convos at first, and it was like, okay, you should call it nurturing conversations. And I was like, oh, that is pretty dope. I'm gonna call it nurturing conversations. And the more that I talked during Sunday nights at 7, the more I realized that I was comfortable. Like I had got real comfortable with hearing my own voice. Not like, oh, I just have to talk all the time like that. Not like that, but it was something about the sound of my voice when I hear myself say it, and I'm in a different place in my life where it's just like, oh, that touch. I be talking, y'all. I'm telling you, when I watch back my videos, it touches me. I don't know if it touches you, but it touches me. And it's just like, I have the same feeling every time I watch it. Like you ever watch somebody on YouTube and you're hearing their story and you feel like you can feel what they're saying. Like some people can see it and it was like, okay, I notice your aura, whatever it is. But some people, when they talk, you can literally feel it. Like if you close your eyes, you can literally envision the words as they are saying, like as if they are right there. I literally be feeling everything when I be saying, like when I pick the positive quotes in the morning, like even when I do morning meditations and I'm there and I'm speaking the positive affirmations to myself, it's like, it's, I'm going to say it's shocking. It's shocking to me to be in this space. Cause like when I was younger, I was like, one day I'm gonna be able to use my voice and people gonna hear me and people gonna listen to me. And I know that with that, let me say with that, with being able to speak and people hear, with being an influencer, being on social media, period, like people hear you and people like gravitate towards you. Some people will like literally like you are now their family members in their head, or you are now, their YouTube family or whatever. So that's why I'm making my business to be mindful of the things that I put out, the things that I say, because I don't want to lead anybody wrong. I don't want to lead anybody astray. I just want to put out light, love, and positivity. That's why every morning I do a meditation. I put out a positive affirmation or a positive quote. Um, I try to be as positive. Now, I am not no spiritual guru. I am not no. I ain't no. I don't even know. I am not a spiritual guru. I am just someone that is looking to live a better life. Period. Like, that's it. You see me doing positive affirmations, meditation. I'm changing my life. I'm changing the things around me. I'm doing healthier things. Not only just like eating or drinking juice every day, but I'm feeding my mind. Like I'm reading, I'm meditating. I'm taking what is in. Pulling it out, and I'm just letting it. I'm letting a lot of stuff go. I'm unlearning and learning. The best thing that happened to me was not being silent. And this is why I wanted to talk about silence is not an option. I know I touched on all the different, from work to relationships to families, just so that you know that silence is not an option. You do not have to be silent. If you are slighted, you are wronged, someone is being disrespectful to you, someone is abusing you, silence is not an option. You have to say something. I know we probably feel like we're protecting the other person, but you have to think about this, right? The person that is doing that to you, they didn't even care about anything. They just cared about themselves at that particular time for them to do what they wanted to do. That was it. So if they didn't care enough to think about you or themselves, why are you dedicating your time and energy to thinking about them? Don't do it. Silence is not an option. If you are a young person and you are watching this and something is not right with you, something is going on with you, find an adult, your parents preferably, but find an adult that you can tell, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, find somebody and talk to them about it. Find someone and talk to them about it. If you are an adult and you are, things aren't just what they used to be for you, I want to encourage you to find someone. Therapy, I know a lot of people go to church and they say, "Oh, I'm going to give it to Jesus." I want to tell you that you need balance. I know this is not against anybody religion. I'm going to tell you, like, you need balance. Like, you're human, you need balance. You need Jesus and you need a therapist or a doctor or somebody. There needs to be some kind of balance. I literally was having a conversation I literally was having a conversation with my son. I don't have kids, but he's like my son. He's my gay son. Um and I was telling him that it hurts me when I see the people around me hurting. And if you're a parent, you probably had this experience. He's not even my real son, but this is what happened. It hurts me to see the people around me hurting and there's nothing that I can do about it. Like, that for me is something that is just like, I'm not even a parent. Like, I'm a parent, but I'm not a, like, I've never birthed children. So if you are a parent, I can only imagine your feelings after having birthed something and you're watching it. Like, I can only imagine. Um I want to encourage you, if you are feeling any kind of symptoms, whether it's a cough, a cold, a headache, trouble breathing, I want to encourage you to seek medical attention. And I'm saying this as someone who had COVID and damn near died. Um, I wasn't going to go seek medical attention because I just thought, let me tell you, I thought it was a sinus infection. I thought it was my monthly. I thought it was a whole bunch of things. Knowing this, what I'd be saying, I knew I knew that it was COVID. I knew where I got it from, but in my mind, it was just like, but I was protecting myself. Had gloves. I wear gloves. If y'all, I wear gloves. I have hand sanitizer. I keep my mask on. I knew all of that. For me, take care of yourself. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You made it to 2022. We're only nine days in. I want to see you at the end of the year. I mean, I can't really see you, but I could see you if you come and type your name in the chat, or I want you to be able to see me. Let's just say that I want you to be able to see me. Um, take care of yourself. If you are a parent, make sure you get your kids tested. Get your kids tested. Make sure you take care of them. 2 fucking years. Two. Two. Um Sorry, there's this thing that I have this feeling like this is kind of really why I wanted to talk about silence is not an option. Also, because I have this thing like there's so many people. It's like a pulling, a drawing for me. It's like so many people are hurting and they're looking for a way of escape. In the beginning, I said I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know that you are not alone. You are not alone. Um, and that you can overcome. And I say overcome, but I really mean you can get through anything that life throws at you. Anything. It was me looking back at where I come from and standing in my power as a 41-year-old African American woman. And I realized that every fucking thing that I went through gave me the strength to stand here on January the 9th, 2022. It was all of those things. A lot of the shit I went through in my life, I didn't like what I wasn't like, hey, I want to go through this, but I got through it. Alcoholism, I got through it. I told y'all the story like I was out here. I'm not out here. I had one incident where I was drinking and driving. And if you know somebody that drinks and drives, tell them don't do that. Don't do that. Cause to me, like the people around me, they be every you know people in your family. You know people in your family be like, oh, I only had a drink, I only had a shot. That was like hours ago. They always listen. You probably listen and you probably one of those people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just give yourself enough time. Just don't do it. Uber home and come back and get your car or have a designated driver. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But people are looking for a way out or a way to lessen the pain that they are feeling. Like I said, I wish that I could like take people's pain and like throw it just throw it in the universe, the black hole somewhere, just throw it and people wouldn't have to feel it. And then um I is it's so weird. I'd be trying to explain it to people, but it's so weird. That's why like I don't watch the news. I did watch the news today and I want to say prayer goes out to the people in I think it was Philly that had the fire, and prayer goes out to the people in New York that had the fire. Um I'm praying. Like, let me tell you how this is how serious it got for me. Like, I literally was somebody that was like, I meditate. That's what I do. But I started including like people and their pain into my meditations. Like, we just need to heal. We need to heal. We need to talk about the shit that we've been going through, and we need to just like find peace in our situations. Not saying that it's okay for the shit to happen, but find peace. Find where you're not in your mind, like you're trying to protect yourself. So you're doing shit so you can protect yourself. Because let me tell you, anything that's meant to happen to you is going to happen to you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to slam the thing, but it's going to happen to you. The best thing you can do is live. I know that sounds real shitty. Look, you want me to live through this? Listen, it might look like it's really, really dark right now. It might be fucking dark. It might be fucking dark. You're probably in a dark room right now. You're probably in a room full of light, but you're in a dark room right now. I'm going to tell you this, right? It gets better. How does it get better? It gets better by you realizing that the shit that happened to you was something that happened to you. You are better than that fucking situation. You are better. Sometimes when shit happened to you, we take on the guilt, we take on the fear, we take on all the shit that comes with it, but you are better than that. You deserve better. You should require better. You are better. Shit might look like it is never going to get better. And that's just how it looks right now. Probably how it feels right now. It will get better. It will get better. It will get better. Silence is not an option. If you've been holding on to something, you ever be in a place and you just feel weird. You look at somebody and you just feel weird, and you don't know why you feel weird, but you know you feel weird, and then you leave that presence, that situation, and you get home, and then there's a memory and you just like, oh, that makes perfect sense. You ever know, like, growing up in a family, shit happened to you, and then you go to family functions, or you Thanksgiving or Christmas or birthdays or whatever, family reunions, and you feel weird. You don't have to feel weird. Silence is not an option. You have to let that go. It's not yours to carry. Yes, it happened to you, but it's not yours to carry. I know we be trying to protect people. I think the most important person that you should protect is yourself. That's why from January 9th, 2022, all the way into December, the end of this year, I'm going to continue to say, choose yourself. Choose you. If you always the go-to person for everybody to come and dump their shit on, listen, you can't, no more dumping. This is no more dumping here. If you was always the go-to person and when people needed something they could call you, there is no more of that. I know it's gonna be like, man, people ain't gonna call me, people ain't gonna hang around. Maybe it's time for you to get alone by yourself and spend some time with you. I am so grateful. I never would have thought that I would be I never would have thought that I would say that I am grateful that I have a divorce, that I am divorced. I am grateful for that because the time that it allowed me to work on myself, to work with myself, to let shit go, to address shit, to learn to say no and set fucking boundaries. That shit for me is I could never I that it's that for me. For that I will forever be grateful. That helped me to understand my self-worth, helped me to understand that I deserve better. Once you love yourself enough to say, you know what? I don't know why the fuck I'm letting you talk to me like that. Like, why are you talking to me like that? Some people are with people because, they be putting the woo wop wham down. But if that's the only reason why you with a person, is that really a reason to stay with somebody? I'm not telling you to leave. I'm just telling you to think about it, right? Think about it. If you go to this job, if in the morning, it's Monday, if it's in the morning, you're going to get up and be like, I hate this fucking job. Let me go to this job. I mean, I get paid on it. If you survived a global fucking pandemic, you should be doing what you want to do right now. You should be doing that. If you want to start a fucking business. Oh, yesterday I told y'all about, hold on. Yesterday I told y'all about my manifestation book, the book I'm manifesting, right, for 2022. Um, this is what it looks like. Oh, let me see if y'all can see it. This is what it looks like. It's a blank book. I'm actually going to turn this one into my vision book. It's gonna be my vision book, my vision for 2022. That's what I'm gonna turn this one in. Hold on, I got the link. I'm gonna get the link for you, just in case you want to write a book or your kids want to write a book, or because Kids can be authors too. Like, I know we got a lot of shit going on in life. I know there's like a global fucking pandemic, a new variant every other day, every other week. Is like it was just a notification on my phone, like they have a new booster shot. It's something every fucking day. Like you can set your kids up a little business. You could set your kids up a YouTube if they like to eat, if they like to play with toys. For me, like in this phase of my life, um, silence definitely isn't a fucking option. I'm definitely choosing to use my words to say what the fuck I need to say, because I didn't survive a global fucking pandemic. I don't know about you, but I didn't survive a global fucking pandemic to be sitting around twiddling my fingers thinking about I shoulda, coulda, woulda, wish I woulda had of. No, I'm fucking every fucking thing I ever wanted to do in my fucking life. That's what I'm doing right now. Because at any time, any day, you can catch any one of these fucking things out here and no longer be here. I said to myself, I'm not gonna live with no regrets. It's a no. I'm giving 100%. You can't give 110%. I'm giving 100%. And that's it. Once I do my best and my best is done, I'm leaving where it is. I'm gonna take what I learned from that situation and I'm gonna move forward. No, 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 no. It's a no for me. I'm not holding on to fear, guilt, anger, none of that. I'm letting all of that go. You can have it. That the link I just dropped in, that's for the book. If you want to get your kids the book, if you want to get the book, you want to write a book, I would encourage you just to get it and just write what you want the book. I'll show y'all the cover, but I'm not going to show y'all what's on the inside of the book. But it works. It definitely, definitely works. If you haven't created a vision board, the crazy thing was last year I used lists. I wrote down the things that I wanted to accomplish on the list, and before I know it, the list was like I made like 7 lists. 7 lists. I made it. And so this year I was like, you know what? I want to do something different. I want to do something different. So when I crossed in, I didn't make New Year's resolutions. I didn't do a lot of the traditional things I would normally do. I didn't do anything. I actually went to sleep and I woke up in a brand new year, started my whole little routine I wanted to do for 2022. And I'm 9 days in and it's been going great. But I said I wanted to do something different. And then I remembered I got an extra book. So I'm gonna turn this into my vision book. And in my vision book, in one of my lists that I had from 2021, I wanted to write an ebook, well, 2 books for musicians. One of them is already done. I'm gonna be sharing that within this next week. It's super excited. It's not like a novel book or anything like that. I think it's like 10, 14 pages. I don't know. But it's still a book. It's still a book. You could flip the pages, you could still read it. That's that book. But this other book is definitely taking me a little minute to write and figure out. But that's what it's all about. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you could do it. If I could start I actually have 3. If I could start 3 YouTube channels, you could start 1. You could start 3 if you wanted to, but you could definitely start 1. You've been saying you've been watching YouTube for any number of years, months, days, weeks, and you like, man, I know I could do that. You should. Silence is not an option. What does that got to do with silence? You've been sitting there watching other people, watching me, watching other people on YouTube do it. Keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna need to do it." Let me tell you, you don't even need a lot of equipment, right? You just need a little ring light. I got a little ring light. Just it's a little one. I mean, I do have big lights too, but I have a little ring light. I paid $5 at Target for that little light. Y'all see how much light it's giving me? I got a purple bulb up in there just to change the feng shui. I didn't buy that lamp. It was an old lamp that was in my house. I just put a purple bulb in it. Um, that was a gift for me. The other light, you could just change the light bulbs in your room. Do you? That's what I'm gonna say. Just do you. Don't come out the gate trying to be like anybody else on YouTube. Just do you. If you do you, if you be you, we will feel it. We will feel it and we will return. We will become returning supporters. We will even subscribe. I'm going to take this moment to say, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that red button. I have a lot of things that I'm rolling out this week. I am doing exercises. I'm going to upload an exercise that I did. I'm going to call it a workout fail. I'm going to upload that because I want y'all to see. This is where I'm starting. And when I get to my end goal, y'all gonna be like, oh, I remember the first video. I'm gonna tell y'all definitely gonna laugh because I was laughing through it because I was winded. Like how I got 200 plus workout videos, working out every day, all the time. And then I was winded. You wanna know how? I had COVID. COVID changed me. It definitely did. I don't know what it did for you, but it definitely changed me. That's why I'm saying every fucking thing that I wanted to do in my life, I am going to do it. I don't care what it is. I don't care. I wanted to start another podcast. Started it. I'm thinking I was gonna say I was gonna do Sundays to release it, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put a poll up. I'm gonna let y'all decide. That's what I'll do. I will let y'all decide. I'm gonna let you decide when I upload the Nurturing Conversations podcast because it is a podcast. I have out now of two podcasts. I'm telling you, when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. It's not. I don't listen. If you watch the video, don't think average. If you want to open up a brick and mortar, I'm sorry, I'm speaking in. If you want to open up a t-shirt shop, a makeup shop, a eyelash shop, or if you want to buy vending machines, whatever you want to do, research it. Now, don't just jump out there. Just research it. Like if you want to start a YouTube channel, right? Like I said, I'm rebranding my music channel, and I'm going to start doing reactions to music. I love country, so I'm gonna do country. Famaka is here. Watch a lot of her videos and see some of the popular songs that she did. I wrote some notes from her. I wrote some notes from some of the other popular I've been writing notes from everybody. When roll out my videos this week, you're gonna see a lot of the popular videos. That doesn't mean I can't do it. That's inspiration for me. Famaka TV is inspiration for me. A lot of you that are in here have been inspiration for me to keep coming back and doing Sunday Night Dinner and Convos. Inspiration. If you're not inspired, it's been a global fucking pandemic. You survived 2 years. 2. I literally survived. Like literally. When I this go round, like my family, like a lot of members of my family just had COVID for the second time. And people was like, how come you didn't get it? It's like, because I stay in my house. Our real life. Like I really do be wanting to go to the different events and hang out and talk and laugh. I really do. I really do. But something on the inside of me, because I had that battle, it was a fucking battle. When I tell you it was a fucking battle, when I had that fucking battle with COVID, it literally changed my fucking life. It's a no. Well, I be going to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store the other day. I don't mean to freak y'all out, but just think about this, right? When you go in a grocery store, and a lot of people don't be wearing masks. Some of these people might be vaccinated, some of them might. That's not even my concern, but this is my concern. When you're walking down the aisle and somebody open air coughs, because we all know people open air cough. When they open air coughs and then you walk down that aisle, you never know what is. That's why for me, I was going to the pick a save by my house, but now I decided to go to Woodman's because I went to Woodman's yesterday and got all of the juice. If you haven't watched my juice video, the juice, I'm drinking abundance this week, but I went and got all of the ingredients for my juice. I got a large quantity of it for $30, where when I went to pick and save, it was upwards of the dollars. And I was like, but you only get a little bit. Like I got a pineapple, a stalk of celery, some spinach, and I done spent damn near $30. And I was like, why did I go to Woodman's? So I went to Woodman's, and in my mind, I map it all out. So I know, okay, I'm gonna go here, do one of these moves, and I'm gonna be right here at the self checkout. I'm done. I'm gonna be right at home. I get in the car. I get in the car with my mother. I'm gonna tell you why I wear my mask with my mother, because my mother was the person who gave me COVID last when I had it in September. She didn't mean like it wasn't. She was like, "Hey, here," but I knew that's where I got it from because that was the only other person I was with. Like that's how tough me and my mother been kicking it since we've been talking. We've been talking. I've been building a relationship with my husband. It's been cool. When I got COVID, I was just like, I'm wearing my mask. I wear it 24 hours a day. I'm not wearing it right now because it's only me in here. But when I go outside, gloves, mask, everything. When I come in from outside, I spray y'all might be like, she doing a bit much. No, 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 no. If you haven't had it, if you haven't had hey, hey, my nieces and nephews, I got to see Bobo yesterday. Oh, I love them. But that's how Kira was able to come over for New Year's because I was the only one that didn't have COVID. I, yeah, it's a no for me. Everybody know I be serious around. I don't even. I be taking. This is my new best friend. I drink plenty of teas. I'm juicing again. I'm drinking all healthy stuff. I'm there with it. I'm right back at it. Too many things I'm trying to accomplish in 2022. I don't got no time for it. No Marion, no Flurona. I don't. Who naming it? Who's naming these things? I know it's not a Marion. It's like a Marcrion or something. But who's naming them? It was like Alpha, Mu, Lambda, all of these different things. It's a no for me. All the people coming, you'd be worried about people coming over to your house, like what you bringing with you. Now it's like, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna come over. It's a no for me. You can't go by Shell House. You right. You can't because it's a no. People, I know y'all know that people are not really taking this serious. They not. Y'all see how I went? They not. People still out here partying, turning up like it ain't nothing out here. It's a no for me. I love y'all, but I don't love y'all that much where I'm willing to put myself in jeopardy. It's a no for me. I be up in here. When I do go out, I'm telling you, when I go out, I get you ever watch like a zombie movie or something where they're like, okay, we gonna go into the store and we gonna go right here and this is exactly what we gonna grab. Oh, that's me. That's me all day. I'm going right into the store. Sometimes I don't even grab a buggy because if I do grab a buggy, I'm not touching it. I'm just pushing it with my body. But I know exactly what I need to get. I boom, 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 and I'll ride in the car. Any extra stops, I don't even do it. I can't. When I started to think, when they went from 14 to 5, my mind started to think like, wait a minute. How you go from 14 to 5 and then you tell people if they don't have any symptoms come in, they don't go. It's enough for me. I stopped eating out because I'm one of those people. See, it started to silence is not an option. And I had to tell somebody that when I had went to Qdoba's a couple of weeks back before, and the man coughed. He coughed and everybody else is just sitting there looking. It's a no for me, sir. Are you gonna go to the back and like y'all got some disinfectant? I got some in the truck. I can go and it's a no for me. I mean, people making food and ooh, it's a no. I didn't even know at the grocery store. That's why I be washing. I wash everything. I wipe my bags down. When I tell y'all, it changed me. I was kind of doing that before, but it definitely changed me because I can't. Mm-mm, mm, it's a no. Just the thought of that, it's a no. It's a no. So if you are out here, make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Um, if you are in a situation and you are unsafe, silence is not the option. Silence is not the option. If you are a parent, oh, sorry. If you are a parent and you are unsafe and you have children, Silence is not an option. I know um we don't want to be alone. I know. Sorry, y'all. This is it. Just I'm telling y'all, that's why it just be happening like that. I know we don't want to be alone. I know we probably feel like we're gonna struggle, but at the end of the day, silence is not the option. And your children are watching you. Your teenagers are watching you. Your siblings, your family members, your people are watching you, and they will help you. And I said that because I was one of those people that was just like, I'd be sick or don't have something and I'm busting my ass and I never would be like, hey, I don't have or hey, I can't get it. Um, but because I was on the journey of healing and self discovery, when I got COVID, I hit my people like, hey, listen. I was supposed to go to the grocery store. I couldn't make it to the grocery store. I got Cash App. If you got Cash App, Zelle, any one of those, I could send you the money if you can go to the grocery store. It was so freeing for me. I would get text messages and say, "Hey, the food is on the porch," or "Hey, the food is at the bottom of your stairs," or the top of your stairs. Like it was, the people came through for me. My people, not just my family members. Like people came through for me, and I appreciate. That's why. Listen, I appreciate it. If you are struggling in any way, shape, form, or fashion, swallow your pride and tell somebody. Like I'm in Wisconsin and they're like the temperatures are gonna be below zero. Well, hold on. They said the temperatures are gonna drop to like below zeros this coming week, and I'm just like, I told my brother, I was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but could you go with our mom to, how you talk when you talk to your brothers? Could you go with your mama to the gas station and make sure that the truck is filled up? Because I don't want her to be out here trying to pump gas. It's cold. If you are outside and you don't have a place to go, don't let pride keep you in the cold. I know sometimes that's why silence is not an option. If you are in Wisconsin, if you are in, I guess it's like the Great Lakes or the Midwest, don't let silence keep you in the cold. We surviving a global fucking pandemic. Don't make your life harder than it already is. Tell somebody you need some help. Tell somebody. If you can't tell the people that you know, if you are on YouTube, tell your YouTube friends. Put your Cash App out there. Get help. Help is what's most important. It's people that's literally that watch other people's YouTube that will help you. You don't have to suffer in silence. Silence is not an option. If you don't have, tell someone. My mother used to always say that when I was growing up. She was like, if you don't got no food, just call me. That reminds me, I need to call my mother because she said she was cooking today. But tell somebody, talk to somebody. If you are somebody that you're struggling, like I literally, when I was going through all of this, like I knew my mind, the first thing my mind said is I need to talk to somebody that's been divorced. I don't need to talk to somebody that's thinking about divorce, that got divorced and or was change their mind about. I need to think about to talk to somebody that was actually divorced because I need to know. I need to know if I'm going crazy because it felt like I was going crazy. I ain't gonna jack. It felt like I was going crazy, but I knew I wasn't going crazy. But it felt like that, and I need to talk to somebody that's been there. Like when I would talk to people around me that's like drinking and driving, like. But people around me, they will tell you if I know we going to the club and I know I drove with you or I rode with you and you don't had a couple of drinks, I'll Uber home. I'll Uber, I'll call somebody, hey, come pick me up because I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm good, we at 8 no, that I'm not getting in the car with you because I don't know if y'all noticed or if y'all paid attention. If you don't, let me tell you. I It probably has happened, but I haven't yet to read it or anything like that about the drunk driver passing away. It's not them. It's always the people in their car. It's the people in the other car. It's never them. I guess it's something about the alcohol and the shock value. I don't know. It's not gonna be me. It shouldn't be you. If you out partying, for the first time in my entire 41 years of living, I saw a commercial about someone smoking, you know what, and getting behind the wheel of a car and almost hitting someone, and the police sirens was behind them. I said, I don't know why it took so long, but whoever came up with that campaign, I don't know if y'all seen it where y'all is. I don't even remember the company. I don't even remember who it was, but I was grateful for that because we all know, we know that's just as bad as sleeping. If you're sleepy and you're driving, all of that is, it's a no. It's it's a no. I'd be real adamant about it. I don't know. People like, how you just no, I love life. I love it. It might be fucked up sometime, but listen, I know I could change that. I know I could change it. I don't stress about the things I can't change, but I can change me getting in the car with you, and I know you just it's a no for me. It's a no. That should be a new it's a no. It's a no for me. Hell no, fuck no, no. God damn it, I said no. It should just be no. You should choose you. Choose, that's the most important thing. If you don't hear anything else I'm saying tonight, choose you. Choose you. And silence is not a fucking option. I know it might seem like a safe place. I know it may seem like I'm comfortable here. Don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable, because then, to be like, well, ain't nobody else who gonna want to be with me. Who? Oh my God. Yeah. My brother, that's I put my brother, the one I told he was a real, he was one of those. He fell asleep driving in the car, which was a regular car. Like, once it, like, he rolled a couple of times, it was like this, like crushed, like the top was like crushed. It looked like one of those cars that the thing crushed. Yeah, it looked like that. And I was like, hey bro, like, if you tired, like, I know you just want to get home and get in your bed, pull over to the side of the road, lock your doors, put your seat back, get some sleep. Do that. Not just for you, but do it for the people around you. Think about, if you have kids, think about your kids, think about your nieces and nephews, think about the people around you. A lot of times, this is why I say, this is why I talk about generational curses, right? A lot of times, I'm gonna use this one because um if we know that Uncle Pete has touched more than one person in our family, right? I don't have an Uncle Pete. You probably don't have an Uncle Pete. It's just some name I pulled out the top of the fucking ceiling. If we know that Uncle Pete has been touching people for generations in the family, right? It becomes a generational curse because no one talks about it. And those that do talk about it get shunned, or they get like, that's the problem child, or hi, darling, or that's the person that's causing a rift in the family. No, Uncle Pete is the person that caused the rift in the fucking family. And anyone, I will go on record and say this, that anyone that stands alongside Uncle Pete is just as guilty as Uncle Pete. I know a lot of you probably are thinking the same thing. You probably thinking like, how does my grandma know that her son or her daughter, because we don't talk about the women that be doing it. We don't talk about it. But their son or daughter is doing these things to us and not doing anything. And that's because we don't be wanting to hurt people's feelings. As a people pleaser, I would tell you, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings either. But guess what? My feelings are the most important right now. If you are a parent, and if you know that Uncle Pete touched you, and maybe he didn't touch you, maybe Uncle Pete touched your cousins, or five or two of your cousins, don't let your kids go over Uncle Pete's house. Don't let your kids go over your grandma or your mama's house if you know Uncle Pete is going to be there. We got to silence. It's not an option. We have to start standing against these things. We have to. It shouldn't be six generations of people getting touched by Uncle Pete or Auntie Sally. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be we know that one of our friends is being abused and we're not saying something, or we're not doing something about it. It shouldn't be that. Silence is not an option. We should say something. I I seen a status on Facebook, and it was like, I'm going to do my best to make sure that my child never feels my child feels love. And I commented on it. I was like, I don't have any kids, but I make sure that my nieces and nephews know that I love them, and at any fucking time they want to talk to me about the sun, the moon, the stars, the rainbows, the unicorns, dinosaurs, whatever they want to talk to me about, I will listen. Listen, if you are a parent and your child is saying something is happening to them, and I know you probably be like, they lying. Why would somebody listen? Th- Throw that out your head. You know that whole what happens here stays here. All of the, I'm gonna say it, all of the black sayings, all of those things, throw them out the fucking windows. That's how generational curses have been able to been passed down. And you don't even gotta be black, Indian, white, whatever you are, whatever the traditional things that has been passed down that's keeping secrets, throw that shit out the window. Secrets always have a way of coming to the light. Always. They might not happen today, they might not happen tomorrow, but they always have a way of coming to the fucking light. And silence is not a fucking option. I know there was this whole thing trending on TikTok. If you right here, you can follow me. I'm on all the social medias right there. There's a thing trending on TikTok. What is something that you would tell the older generations of black people? Do y'all know that I literally watched and scrolled and watched all of those videos, and a large majority of them um were stop calling girls fast, or stop saying that boys are insert word that they call for um derogatory term towards homosexual men. Like I can't even say that. That's, you see, I had to do that whole long thing. I won't ever say that word out of my mouth. It's a no. um Stop keeping secrets, stop telling lies on behalf of other people. It was just a whole series, and it wasn't just black people, it was all kinds of people. It was like, stop telling, there was Catholic people that was doing, it was all kinds of stuff there. So what I'm saying is silence is not an option. And like in the black church, I was molested by a black pastor. But in the black church, they'd be like, oh, at least we're not as bad as the Catholic. And it's like, that's a difference. No, both of y'all are out here fucking kids, and y'all need to stop. Period. Like, period. I don't even know where do you go after that. You need to stop. Period. If you are somebody that's out here touching kids, you need to stop. Go get help. Go get help. If you are a parent and your child says somebody touched them, number one, I don't give a fuck what an adult says. Listen to your fucking child. Listen. That's all I'm gonna say is listen to your fucking child, because a lot of times people don't be wanting to lose their relationship. They don't want to lose that money. They don't want to lose that sex. They don't want to lose shit that deserves to be lost, because they don't, oh, no, no. Don't do that. Don't do Your child deserves better. When you lay down and you brought them here, or you adopted them into your family, you said that you're going to take care of them. You're going to make sure that they are good, they are safe, that they are fed, that they are well looked after. Do that. Silence is not an option. Being silent when like shit, like, have y'all watched the news and all of the people that are like in relationships, and they were they not, some of them didn't let, now some of them didn't let, but a lot of shit happened with the other kids. It's a no for me. I don't When it comes to kids, it's a fucking no for me. It's a no. I don't give a fuck who you are, what status you hold. It's a fucking no, because they are a child. Let me tell you, as a 41-year-old person, right? Shit that happened to me as a child is affecting me right now as a grown ass woman. That shit, it happens. And some shit, people be like, oh, it'll grow, they'll grow out of it. It's just a phase, all of that shit. That's just shit that people say to be comfortable with the shit that happened. If you know somebody molested your child, and now your child is out here, wilding out, doing whatever, and you want to call her a little derogatory terms, don't do that. He needs love. They need support. They need to understand what the fuck happened to them, because if you never talk to them, you are opening the door for something bigger. Silence is not a fucking option. It's not an option. It's not an option, especially when it comes to kids. I will never be silent when it comes to kids. I will never be silent when it comes to adults, elderly, anybody, period. But especially kids because they are young and their brains are being formed. They shouldn't have to deal with shit like that, especially at the hands of adults. That's just my spin on it. Silence is not a fucking option. If you are an adult and some fucked up shit happened to you, use your words. Use them. People, they're not gonna want to hear what you say. Like I think I would say that it was hard for me to tell my parents what I told them. Cause parents be thinking that they be doing the best job they can, and they do. That's not to say that my parents didn't do the best job because I'm 41 years old. I'm sitting here talking to you. What I'm saying is that there's some things that could have been handled differently. And when I having conversations with my mother, I understood a lot of things parents I'm not saying that you don't know everything, but you don't know everything. And some things that you could learn too. Some things you could learn. Some things you really do need to learn because a lot of the shit that we were passed down, all of our thoughts and how we raise our kids and shit like that. Like there was a whole TikTok thing about can we normalize disciplining our kids again. I remember, like, I think it was my generation or the generation directly above me that was like, oh, I'm not going to whoop my kids. I'm not going to discipline them. I'm not going to do this. And then kids turned out, and then the ones after them had to suffer because now the kids that should have been getting disciplined are just out here wilding out. And now the other kids is like, no, that wasn't us. Don't do that. Don't do that either. Don't like chastise or don't give the shit to someone else who don't even deserve it. Don't give it. Give the shit to the people that deserve it. That was my whole little speech for tonight. Silence is not a fucking option. That's whether in relationships, that's whether in marriage, that's whether in families, that's whether in business, that's whether wherever. Silence is not a fucking option. I know silence may make you feel comfortable for a moment, a split second. It might just be like, okay, I'm gonna shut up because I don't know what's gonna happen. I, I was driving. I haven't driven in a minute though, but I was driving and one day you driving. If I don't know where you live, but I live in Wisconsin and they do this little thing where they like zigzag in front of you or whatever. So it didn't happen to me, but it happened to the person in front of me. So I know me personally, I don't know if you do this, but here's a tip. If you're driving, when you're taking a road test, they say give at least a car length in between you and the other car. I realize that people really don't give a car length. I don't know why not, but people don't give a car length. I always give a car length. I actually kind of give two car lengths because I never know. So it's space in front of me, right? So there's space in front of me. So a car swoops, they do a little swerving in and out to infinities. If you see an infinity and you're driving in Wisconsin, just politely pull over. Cause so they swerving like this. So one car swerve in, and in my mind, I already know if one car swerving, it's another car gonna come from the other side. Somebody else didn't. I don't know if they didn't know the rules of the roads. These are made up rules now, but somebody else cause they said that they're going to try to get over, they just nonchalantly just getting over the other infinity, smacked them. And you know how people be about their cars. The young man hopped out, the older man hopped out, and I just was like, oh, I'm gonna pray for this situation, but I'm gonna keep going because you already know, if you don't know, the situation turned out to be something different. You shouldn't have been swerving in front of people anyways. You shouldn't be swerving. I'm not saying that he should have. He shouldn't have been swerving. If he wouldn't have been swerving, his car wouldn't have got. If y'all picking up what I'm putting down, I was just silent because I'm just like I'm gotta make it home. That's where I was before, but now it's just like, listen, get your. I wish a motherfucker would cross in front of me while I'm fucking driving. And they cross in front of me, and I had to keep telling myself, like, you just want to make it home. People, you just want to make it home. Like, everybody is armed and dangerous now. I just want to make it home. I don't even, I just want to even go outside. Mm-mm. Silence is not an option. I be telling people all the time. You're not gonna talk to me like I'm a grown ass woman. You're not gonna talk to me like I'm a child. If you can dish out some shit, that's another thing. If you can dish out some shit in 2022, I don't know about them other years, but I'm gonna tell you like this: in 2022, it's a lot of me's out here. It's a lot of us is out here that's not taking that shit in 2022. Not that we done survived the global fucking pandemic. You got the right one on the right day at the right time. There you go. Silence is not a fucking option. If you are walking around here feeling tense and you are holding on to shit and you are literally at that point where I just can't take it anymore, listen, choose yourself. Choose. I'm going to say how it came to my mind. Choose your fucking self. Choose yourself. Let everybody and everything go. If you're trying to carry your family, let them fucking go, especially if they grown. Let them go. Let them go. Parents, if you have older adult kids, let them go. You got to fucking live too. You do. I know it might be hard and you probably like, you don't got no kids, you don't understand. Listen, at the end of the day, you got to live for you. You got to live for you. Because I have to tell myself, I got to live for me. At the end of the day, I got to live for me. I got to feed myself. I got to make sure my bills are paid. I got to do that for me. Ain't nobody like, hey, let me come in and, well, anyways, you got to live for you. If you are in a period of transition, if you are in a period of healing, heal. Acknowledge, accept, heal, learn. That's all you could do. Acknowledge, accept, adjust, heal, learn. Acknowledge, accept, adjust, heal, and learn. Some fucked up shit happened to you in your life. That's where you should make the decision this shit ain't gonna happen again. It's not. Especially if you know that you could change the outcome, it shouldn't happen again. If you know you only in a situation because people laying the pipe down or people got the good whatever, you deserve better. You don't just have to stay in a situation because somebody is good at what they do. You don't have to just stay in a situation because somebody is paying your rent. Hey, listen, you deserve better. Choose you. That's pretty much all I have. Silence is not an option. Again, that's in relationships, schools, workplace, families. Silence is not an option. You probably been holding on to something that's like, oh, well, they're not gonna be my friends and they're not gonna like me if I say it. Listen, anybody that's not accepting the truth from you right now in 2022, they don't need to be in your circle anyways. It's a no for me. Anybody that's not encouraging you, supporting you to heal, to grow, to learn, to live, to fucking live, don't need to be in your space anyways. Anybody that's not supporting you, anybody that's if and I don't mean like it's their responsibility because I work with music artists and they always feel like everybody's supposed to support them. At the end of the day, this is what I say. If you don't have enough belief in yourself to believe that whatever you do is gonna turn into gold, because that's what I do. I believe every fucking thing I'm gonna touch gonna turn into gold. I think I might upgrade it to platinum because that's just what I think. It's about how you think. If you think better, you will do better and your life will be better, 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 better. That's what it's all about. Living a better life. Everybody is running the same race, trying to live a better life. Be happy, have enough money to maintain the things that they maintain. That's it. Only way you're going to do that, silence is not an option and choose yourself. Choose yourself. Silence is not a fucking option. It's time out for being comfortable in a situation. We survived a global fucking pandemic that's changing every day. 2 years and 9 days. It's still changing. Literally, I was sitting here and they just text, hey, the new next booster shot. This is a new shot, a new pill, a new something every day. This was supposed to keep you from getting it. Now it's like a lesson to get it. And then the people that's getting it is like spread. It's so many different things we don't even know. I don't think they don't even know. They don't know. We don't know. It's just take care of yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Do whatever the fuck you need to do to take care of yourself. If it's staying at home, if it's making sure, your space, do that. That's all you could do. Cause it went from 14 to 5. And if you ain't questioning that, I don't know where the fuck you been at. Cause it was my first question. How I go from 14 to 5. And then if you don't have any symptoms, you can still come in. I don't know. But we living in some seriously dangerous times. And that's for real, all I have to say. Remember that it is important for you to use your words. Silence is not an option. It's not. I know people try to make it seem like it is. It's really not. You're only harming yourself by doing that. I know you want to protect somebody else, but if they didn't even think enough to protect themselves, it's not your job. It's not your job. Um, in case you need a friendly reminder, we are still surviving a global fucking pandemic. 2 years and 9 months. Quiet as it's kept. You see, I'm whispering now. Not even whispering, but quiet as it's kept. It's been here since 2019, but they just got a little handle on it in 2020. But hey, I remember a lot of people was having the flu back in 2019, and it was lasting for like 3 weeks or whatever. But yeah, I remember that. But you should be living your best life right now. If you survived 2 years and 9 days and you haven't figured out, now is the time for you to do that very thing that's been burning in your heart. Burning in your heart. You know it's burning. Every day you wake up. If you wake up and you see somebody else doing it and you be like, damn, I could do that. You wake up, you watch other YouTubers and be like, damn, I could do that. Oh, this is what I was going to say earlier. You probably think, I did say, you don't need all the big fancy lights, whatever. But if you got one of these in your possession, one of these, you got a iPad, a tablet, you can use those and start your own channel. Use those. Don't go out and buy big shit until you get to that point where you can do that. Save yourself some time and money. Start small. If you can maintain the small things, the big things will come. Maintain the small things. The big things will come. And don't even matter if somebody else is already doing it. If I do karaoke every fucking Saturday night for the last 3, 4, a lot of years. I've been doing it, right? If you decide you want to do a fucking karaoke channel, let me know. I will come over there and support you on your karaoke channel. I don't have to be the only person doing karaoke. We all can fucking do karaoke. It could be 15. Y'all see how many fucking mukbang channels it is out here? We can all support each other and help each other get to where we're trying to go. If no one has told you in the first 9 days of 2022, I will take pride in being the first to tell you that I love you. I love you. You don't even fucking know me. How do you love me? Listen, I love you because you are a human being and you deserve to be loved. I love you. I believe in you. You have every fucking thing that you need to be successful right up in here. Because listen, everybody always be like, man, if I had some money, if I had this, I'll be able to do. Me and my younger brother got into a whole discussion about this the other day. If you have a dream, if you write that dream down on a piece of paper, a book, or something, if you write it down, right, you are able to see that thing, whatever it is. And the more you see it, the more you say you have it, the more it's like a routine. It will materialize right there. It will become whatever you want it to be. If you constantly saying your life is fucked up, guess what? Your life gonna be fucked up. If you constantly saying your marriage is shit, what it's gonna be? If the job is, you see where I'm picking up? If you start speaking positive things to yourself, your fucking life will change sooner than you think it will. I'm not going to say it's going to change overnight. It could happen. But it will start to change. Even the small things. Like, I don't know if y'all know this, but last year in January, I started juicing. I juiced all the way from January to August or September when I caught COVID. And I struggled after that because COVID changed me. It takes 30 days. I think it say 30 days. I don't even know how many days, don't quote me, but it takes, once you start doing things, if you start telling yourself positive things every fucking day, you will change the way you see shit. I be trying to get the people around me to be like, well, I don't got no money, I can't start no business. I said, how do you think half of these businesses was started? People take shit in their houses. You see these instruments behind me? I'm plugging them up this week. Y'all wanted me to plug them up. I'm fucking plugging them up, and I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have a drum night. I'm gonna have a bass night. I'm gonna have a guitar night. Now, I'm not no professional musician. Well, I can't say that. I am a professional musician, but I haven't played these instruments behind me in a long time. But guess what? I'm putting out in the universe. I'm going to become skilled in these instruments by the end of 2022. That's not saying I'm waiting to December. That's saying every day that I plug up these instruments, I am going to get better. That's all you could do. Every day when you get up, you can change the course of your day by thinking better, being better, wanting better. Better, better, better. If you ever wonder why I keep saying better, because they say if you repeat something multiple times, it'll get stuck. I want you to know that you deserve better. Anyways, if y'all didn't know, I love talking. Talking helps me. It soothes me. Hi, Angel. Hi, Star. Sorry. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you come back next time. Next Sunday, we're going to have another nurturing conversation. Stay tuned to, if you haven't already, you can go to the community tab and vote for your favorite song that you want to hear me sing from the 90s. I'm doing this year, I'm doing rap, pop, gospel, hip hop, country, blues, heavy metal. I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything because in order to get to where I want to go, I have to cross through these different paths. And hey, I told you, I'm coming for everything. Everything that I wanted to do before, I now have the courage, the passion, the confidence to accomplish it. That's all I got. Oh, wait, that's what I was saying. Vote for your favorite song. I'm going to put a poll up to see what time, what day, what time I'm giving you the option. I'm gonna put it on all of my social medias. What day and what time would you like for me to release my new podcast? Nurturing Conversations, of course. Thank you for all of the love and the support that you show me. All of it. From the comments, the likes, the hanging out, the support, the DMs, the messages, the calls, the texts, the emails, everything that y'all do to help me get to this point. Thank you. I could not be here if it was not for you. And I appreciate that. I want you to know that I truly, truly appreciate that. If you haven't heard that in the first 9 days, I love you, I believe in you, and I appreciate you. Yeah, you probably like, there's somebody on YouTube that said it. Listen, you can come back to this live at any time and replay that. If you were saying, I just need to hear somebody say, I just need somebody to tell me that they love me. I need somebody to tell me that they believe in me. I need somebody to tell me that I can do it. Hi, I love you. I believe in you. You can do it. That's all I got. I said that like 5 times now. That's all I got. You know what time it is. If you don't know what time it is, I suggest you watch the Finger Sweetie because they will tell you. Until next time, I really when I get ready to end these, I feel so accomplished. I feel like I did everything that I was supposed to do. That's what's been going on with me lately. In these first 9 days, I can't even put it into words. You see how it starts to, I can't even put it into words. Everything has just been flowing. It's just been flowing. But that's all I got, y'all. I love y'all. Have a beautiful evening. Wait, if you are free at 10, if you need, you're trying to wind down, you need to rest, 10 o'clock, nighttime meditations. Join me right here on this channel. I love y'all. Until next time, peace.